Hello YouTube, this Keith Kevin Kent. How you doing? How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Time again for another episode of this mini series that I've been doing. This is part 13. Can you believe it? Part 13. I told you I bought a mess of knives in 2019, and I have a number of episodes to go. I'm figuring probably 4 or 5 more episodes before we clear out the knives on my table. It's shrinking, it's just not done yet. Today, believe it or not, what you see in front of you are natives, Spyderco natives. Today we're going to look at the native chief, which was just introduced in 2019. The native, two very special exclusive natives, and a little native that was introduced last year in 2018. But boy, 2019, it just went crazy with the knife, this exclusive knife that you see in front of you. So let's talk about more natives. Of course, the native, one of Spyderco's foundation knives, I'll call it. In fact, they used the native several years ago as the platform to celebrate their 40th anniversary with a special native. Most of the Spyderco knives that I talk about and the knives that you see now, the knives that you have seen during this series, they're all on the playlist, Knives of the Day. I also, all of this mini series is on Knives of the Day, and I also started a new playlist called, I don't know what I called it, Knives Bought in 2019, so you can check out the mini series of all these knives. I can't even believe I bought this many knives. I was going through a lot in 2019, positive and negative, and just having great knives come in just made a big difference. So, introduced in 2019. Remember, in 2018, the Shaman was introduced, and so was the Little Native, both of which came from the Native. The Shaman is a supersized Native, and the Little Native is a little Native. Okay? And then Spyderco kind of shocked me when they came out with the Native Chief. And this is the Native Chief. Some of the lines you can tell from the Chief, the Native, it gives you kind of the same profile, just a lot thinner, right? And a lot bigger. It's as if you took a Native and stretched it out like Play-Doh or something. And so now here's this medium-sized knife called the Native. By the way, all of the knives made in the USA. The Native is one of those Colorado-made knives. And now you've gotten two big knives out of the Native. So this is the Native Chief. It came with black G10 scales. As you can see, regular clip, 4-way clip. And just like the Native, it has a backlock. Unlike the Shaman and the Little Native. The Little Native has the compression lock, and they also release those with the backlock, like the Native. The Shaman, they only released with a compression lock. I have to pat Spyderco on the back for that, because while they've changed it, they didn't just stick with the backlock, but they did both with the Little Native. On this, it's the backlock, very strong backlock. S30V steel, drop point, 4.1 inch blade. So when you talk about the Native 5, that's a 3-inch blade. This is 4.1 inch blade, so it's a bigger blade. Full flat ground. Of course, it has that double forward choil. So when you take out the choil part, the 50% of the choil that's steel, that's blade, instead of the 4.1 inches, you get a 3.6 inch edge. the entire length of this thing, this is a big knife, is 9.1 inches. So we're talking about a really big knife, but it feels so great. And it's so thin. I think the fact that it's thin in both ways, thin in the width and thin just, I guess it is the length is what makes it so great. 3.9 ounces. So you have a 9-inch knife, but only 3.9 ounces. Real nice knife. This is a Native Chief, just released in 2019. I'm interested in seeing what they do. Are we going to get a Native Chief lightweight, which would be great? I'd love to see what variations come out of the Chief. And of course, while in 2019 I only have 2 natives, they are huge. I think it was last episode I did Mannix 2s. And the Knife Center introduced in 2019 a Mannix 2 with smooth, kind of slate-like G10 scales. Well, this Native, Knife Center exclusive, has smooth G10 slate-like scales and CPM crew wear. Great steel. Great steel. So another crew wear for Native. This is an exclusive. And of course you get the standard Native. Again, made in the USA. Now we have the 3-inch blade. 2.4 inches when you take out the 50% of the choil that the blade makes up. 6.9 inches as opposed to 9.1 inches with the Chief. That's what I've come to expect from a Native. I kind of like these smaller to medium knives. I favor those. Just a real nice knife. And 4.5 ounces. That's interesting. Is that true? If what I looked up was true, and it is, 3.9 ounces for this 9.1 inch Chief and 4.5 ounces for the 3-inch Native 5. But with crew wear, this is a real nice knife. I didn't check on Knife Center, but I'm sure this is one of those that sold out real quick. From Knife Center. Most of the distributor exclusives from Spyderco this year just sold out in minutes. Just a real nice knife. Now, this Native is real special. I'll tell you, I was surprised when I got it in the mail. Spyderco, a couple of years ago, sent to folks, it had to be 2 years or a year ago. They sent a note to all of the people that are in their collectors program and said, hey, we're teaming up with Able Fishing, ABEL Fishing, and we're going to do 3 Native 5 knives, all built around trout fishing. So this is the Native Rainbow Trout. They asked us if we wanted to include this in the knives that we got. I said yes, and then I didn't hear anything. And I saw these, they're really being distributed through Able. Able Fishing, they talk about it being a tackle and fishing equipment company. They are super high end. They used to be in LA, they're now in Colorado. That's why they teamed up with Spyderco on a knife. And they do these wonderful fly fishing reels. I don't know how to fly fish, but like most men, I dream about it because it looks so peaceful and so wonderful. I looked at their catalog and I swear I wanted to buy some trout fishing reels. High end, wonderful. And the one thing about it is this right here. It's anodized and it's hand painted. These aluminum scales. These are aluminum scales. No one is the same, but it looks like a rainbow trout. We should be seeing 2 more of these. They are on their website. The packaging around this is like a matte black box with Spyderco's and Abel's logo on it, and then a full picture of the Native 5. It's just beautiful, beautiful box, beautiful packaging. And this is nice too, as you can see. Just super well done. It feels like a custom knife. Again, Abel did what they do, their anodization, their hand painting, and then handed it over to Spyderco for Spyderco to make it into a Native 5. Is that something or what? LC200N steel, which is perfect for a knife that you'd use for fishing, right? It's rust proof, so it's perfect around the water. Oh man, it feels nice. It's hard because YouTube isn't touchable or smellable, but touchable, you'd feel just how upscale it is and how nice, but light too. Can't wait for the next 2. But this is the collaboration between Spyderco and ABEL. It's still available. And by the way, it's ABL and their distribution, because when I looked it up on the web, there are other high-end fishing places that sell these. Just like there's a lot of places that sell their fly fishing reels. So you can pick them up at a number of places. They're not sold out. I've seen them still at least listed in other places, but really a nice knife. Can't wait for the next 2. Can't wait for the next 2. I kept saying to myself, did I say yes to that knife or what? And then it showed up, and they give me a warning that knives are in the mail on an email. They didn't email that one. So when it came from my knife distributor, I was like, wait, I was supposed to get 2 small knives, and this feels heavy, so I didn't know what it was. Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Can I just give a shout out to St. Nick's Knife Factory. They have been killing it with this red G10 and black coated blade. I kicked myself that I sold the other knives. I don't know, was it a Paramilitary 2 or a Para 3? I'm just kicking myself that I didn't keep those. They did this as an exclusive for them. Now remember, this is a smaller knife distribution place. You have to, when you do one of these distributor exclusives, you have to pay up in advance for a certain amount of knives. This is around 500 of these were released. Around 500 of them. They sold out in seconds. they literally sold out in seconds. They did the same thing with the Shaman. Remember, I showed you the Shaman in one of the earlier episodes. CPM 4V steel with the black blade, the red G10, the black hardware, and of course the compression lock, which is smooth as silk. That sold out in seconds as well. So 2 of the most, besides I think the Micarta Shaman, they're all 3 of those are the most wanted Spydercos. It sold out so quick, so super quick. It feels unfair when you're on the other side of it. You know, I'm a coin collector and I buy the new releases from the US Mint, and I miss this coin that was for like $200, a special American Eagle, Silver Eagle coin would have been like less than $200, and already it's in the secondary market for $3,000. because of the limited amount. And I missed it. I called in 15 minutes, couldn't even get through to the U.S. Mint. So I understand the frustration. I'll never get that. They did it one other time 10 years ago, 15 years ago. It's the most expensive coin because I collect all the silver eagles. And I couldn't get that and I can't buy it. So anyway, I understand the frustration if you missed out on any of these hard to get knives. But man, I really like it. Great touch. This, the shaman, the paramilitaries, they do a great job. And with that great steel CPM 4V, the black, I love this short wire clip. It's just everything about this knife. Little knife with a compression lock and... So there you have it. Episode 13 of this mini series. Let's see if we can... Episode 13 of the mini series. More to come. You'll know when we're at the end. I think the last knives will be the 4 fixed blade knives that I bought in 2019 because I can't handle them like this. So I'm waiting till all of these knives are gone and put away. So that's when you know the episodes will be done. We'll do those and there'll be no background of knives. But there you have it. The Native Chief. Oh man. The crew wear. The Able collaboration. The St. Nick's Knife Factory. Little Native. Really, except for the Chief, which was a new introduction, just excitement in the Native area, which is special because the Native is a really nice knife, but you don't hear a lot about it. And this year we really did, or in 2019 we really did. There you have it. Don't forget to thumb this up, subscribe, turn on notifications. Let me know if you're enjoying this series or not. Take good care of yourselves. Looking forward to a great 2020. Keep those pockets full. Good night.